Since the beginning of existence, humanity has been searching for the meaning of love, the mystery behind deep bonds, and the reasons why certain relationships touch and transform us. Why are some encounters seemingly destined, while others pass like brief shadows across our path? Carl Jung, the profound voice of analytical psychology, offered timeless insights into these questions, distinguishing the connections rooted in the soul from those formed by surface-level attractions. In a world where relationships often seem unstable, where love is easily confused with obsession and attraction is mistaken for true connection, it becomes crucial to discern what is real from what is illusion. Jung reminded us that no significant relationship in our lives happens by accident. Every person who crosses our path is a reflection, an unveiling of some hidden aspect of our own unconscious. In the intricate landscape of the psyche, nothing occurs by chance. Every intense emotion we experience in connection with another is a message from within, pointing us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves. The human heart naturally seeks wholeness. From our very first breath, we long for connection, recognition, and love, yet often this longing causes us to chase illusions, mistaking intensity for depth and desire for true purpose. Jung invites us to look beneath appearances, to recognize that what we so often seek in others is, in truth, a reflection of what already exists within ourselves. That powerful magnetic pull toward another can sometimes be the echo of a part of us that we have buried or denied. Many times, we are convinced we have found someone extraordinary simply because the connection feels immediate, electric, and unexplainable. But Jung challenges us to ask, is this truly the soul speaking? Or is it the call of our unhealed inner world reaching out through unconscious longing? He cautioned us about the clever disguises of the unconscious, the projections we cast onto those we meet. Each time we feel deeply drawn to someone, we are not only seeing them, we are also projecting onto them parts of ourselves, unmet needs, forgotten desires, hidden shadows. This phenomenon is far more common than we realize. We often fall for people who embody the traits we have denied within ourselves. If we live mostly in logic and control, we might find ourselves magnetized by someone who embodies spontaneity and freedom. If we have suppressed our vulnerability, we might feel a powerful attraction to someone who embraces it openly. But it is here that a vital distinction must be made. A true soul connection does not arise from emptiness or longing. It is born from mutual recognition, not from need. It is not about seeking to be filled, but about two whole beings coming together to share in fullness. For Jung, love was never about possession or dependency. It was not a desperate attempt to find outside what we feel lacking within. A soul bond does not stem from fear of loneliness, nor from a craving for validation. It is a meeting of two souls who have learned to see without illusion, without masks, without the distortions of unconscious yearning. The path to recognizing such a connection always begins within. We cannot discern true love from fleeting attraction if we have not first journeyed into our own inner world. Jung emphasized the vital need to integrate the shadow, the hidden aspects of our psyche, to confront our wounds, to bring into light all that has remained buried. Only through this inner work can we hope to see others clearly, without the haze of unmet needs coloring our vision. A soul connection is not meant to complete us. It is meant to walk alongside us in the sacred journey of becoming. It is not built on idealization or emotional dependence but founded upon a deep reverence for the separate universes we each contain. In a true bond, both individuals are free to grow, evolve, and expand, without fear, without manipulation, and without the subtle urge to control or be controlled. In contrast, mere attraction often burns bright but shallow. It ignites with desire and longing but rarely sustains beyond the thrill. Such relationships are built on the craving for possession and emotional validation but lack the strength to withstand the tests of time and soul. Without inner awareness, individuals in these bonds often become entangled in cycles of frustration, attachment, and disappointment. Attraction, by itself, is not enough to sustain something sacred. It may spark a fire, but it does not build a home. Jung teaches us that true love is born not in the fever of desire, but in the stillness of the soul. It is born when we see another not merely with the eyes of the body but through the vision of the heart. It is in these rare encounters, where another's presence touches our deepest truth, that we feel a recognition so profound that words fall short. It is not the dizzy high of unchecked passion, nor the frantic need for acceptance. It is a quiet certainty, a calm understanding, rooted in freedom, not fear. It is love that flows naturally, without clinging or grasping, because both souls know that their connection is a choice, not a desperate necessity. A love grounded in self-awareness is unlike any love born out of need. Most seek love to soothe loneliness, to fill inner gaps, or to avoid facing themselves. But a bond born of inner wholeness has a different vibration entirely. It is the union of two souls who have already found peace within themselves and who therefore do not lose themselves in the meeting. This kind of relationship demands maturity. It requires the courage to face reality without illusion. It calls for the bravery to look within rather than seeking salvation in another. And above all, it demands authenticity. Only by daring to show ourselves fully, without masks or pretense, can we ever hope to draw near to those meant to walk with us. Thus, the essential question arises: are we seeking love from emptiness, or from abundance? Are we being swept away by attraction without pausing to listen to what lies beneath it? Jung invites us always to look inward before reaching outward. He reminds us that every bond reflects our inner landscape, and that only through inner transformation can we cultivate authentic connections. Real connections do not leave us feeling confused. They do not cause us to question our worth. They do not demand that we erase ourselves to fit someone else's mold. When two souls truly meet, there is freedom, there is trust, there is mutual growth, there is no manipulation, no struggle for control, no silent attempts to mold the other into our expectations. The great deception of mere attraction is its ability to make us feel alive, to ignite hope, and to seduce us with the dream of forever. But without a true soul bond, that flame eventually flickers out. Many spend a lifetime moving from one relationship to another, always searching, seldom finding, because the true path to connection has not been walked, the path inward. If we long to distinguish between fleeting attraction and a soul connection, we must be willing to dive beneath appearances. We must ask ourselves, what are we really seeking? We must become intimately familiar with our own shadows. We must understand that love is not meant to fill our emptiness but to be an expression of our inner abundance. When we finally meet someone with whom we share that deep, undeniable bond, we simply know. There is no chasing, no convincing, no forcing. It is a quiet recognition, a certainty that rises from within. And if such a connection has not yet come into your life, do not despair. Remember, everything begins within. The more deeply you know yourself, the more you embrace both your light and your shadow, the more clearly you will recognize true love when it appears. Jung's message is unwavering. Do not seek outside for what you must first find within. For when you fully know and accept yourself, the universe brings to you those who resonate with your deepest truth. It is there, in that sacred meeting point, that two souls recognize one another, not through words, not through reason, but through a knowing that transcends this world. A soul connection is far more than chemistry or surface compatibility. It is a deep recognition, a remembering, a sense that somehow you have known each other before time began. It is as if two wandering souls, after long separate journeys of self-discovery, find their way back to one another. Jung spoke of synchronicity, a mysterious alignment of events that seem orchestrated beyond human understanding. He described it as life weaving unseen threads to bring people together at the exact right moment. Not by accident, but by divine design. When a soul connection occurs, the entire universe seems to conspire for the meeting. Reality bends to bring the two paths together, precisely when both are ready. It is not random, it is sacred geometry unfolding in living time. When someone enters your life and sparks a profound inner change, it feels as though they were a missing piece of an invisible puzzle you have been assembling all along. They are not there to complete you. This is not about dependency or filling voids. They are a mirror, reflecting the forgotten parts of yourself, the gifts you were always meant to reclaim. Their presence helps you remember, not who you thought you should be, but who you truly are. Such connections are not born out of fear, nor out of loneliness. They arise from resonance, from a vibration that matches the frequency of your soul. The recognition is unmistakable. It is not based on external traits or on a checklist of qualities. It is a knowing at the deepest level, a meeting that transcends explanation. In these relationships, there is no need for performance, no elaborate strategies of seduction. It simply is. It feels natural, effortless, inevitable, as though it had been written long before either of you were born. Words become almost unnecessary, for the connection speaks louder than any language. It is not about what they can give you or what you can provide to them. It is about walking together, growing side by side, supporting each other's unfolding journeys of consciousness. Unlike relationships born merely of attraction, where emotional needs and physical desire often take center stage, a soul connection is rooted in authenticity. There is no need to prove anything. There are no roles to perform. There is nothing you must hide. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a bridge. In true love, perfection is not demanded. Instead, there is an embrace of the full, imperfect beauty of the soul. Every scar, every shadow, every flaw, they are welcomed, not judged. For real love does not seek an ideal, it honors the real. The shadow, a central theme in Jungian psychology, plays a crucial role in understanding our relationships. Often, we are drawn to those who mirror the hidden aspects of ourselves, those parts we have denied or buried. But not all such intense relationships are soul connections. Some are simply mirrors, showing us the wounds we have not yet healed. These connections are charged with emotion, turbulence, and often conflict. They are not destiny, they are opportunity. They force us to confront our hidden fears, to acknowledge our unmet needs, to awaken the parts of ourselves that long for healing. Attraction in these bonds can feel overwhelming, but it is not necessarily a sign of health or destiny. Often, it is a cry from within, a signal pointing to unfinished work. These relationships can slip into patterns of emotional dependency, cycles of clinging and rejection, the confusion of love with control, the mingling of passion with fear. They drain rather than nourish. They leave us depleted, not renewed. Jung taught that such relationships are not punishments. They are sacred catalysts, urging us to heal, to grow, to reclaim the parts of ourselves we have forsaken. They are painful gifts, not to be confused with the deep peace of a true soul bond. True love, by contrast, expands us. It does not cage us. It does not demand that we shrink, suppress, or betray who we are. A soul connection invites us to become more alive, more whole, more ourselves. It opens doorways into unexplored dimensions of being. It does not seek to possess, it celebrates freedom. Because real love is never rooted in fear. It springs from joy. It is not a transaction or a bargain. It is a sacred dance of sharing. In such love, both souls shine with their own light. One does not overshadow the other. There is harmony without uniformity, unity without loss of individuality. In the presence of a true soul connection, it feels like coming home. Not because the other person fixes us, but because together we create a space where we can be wholly and unapologetically ourselves. There is no anxiety about the future, no clinging to outcomes. The bond does not rest on external circumstances but on an inner resonance that transcends all else. Jung taught that every relationship mirrors our inner state. If we find ourselves repeatedly drawn to pain, to partners who wound us, who diminish our worth, it is not misfortune, nor random cruelty. It is a reflection of the parts within us that still long for healing. We attract not what we wish for, but what resonates with our current state of consciousness. We are magnets for the lessons we most need. And so, if we long to experience different relationships, deeper, more authentic ones, we must first transform the relationship we have with ourselves. The journey toward a true soul connection begins not by seeking another, but by seeking within. The more we come to know ourselves, the more we heal our old wounds, embrace the parts we have hidden, and step into our wholeness, the more we naturally align with those who are ready to meet us there. It is not about finding someone who completes us. It is about being so complete in ourselves that when love arrives, it is not out of desperation, but as a joyful sharing. So many spend their lives chasing love, never realizing they are truly seeking a remedy for their own inner emptiness. When a relationship does not instantly deliver validation or happiness, they move on, searching endlessly, repeating old patterns, trapped in an unconscious cycle. But true fulfillment is not something we can find by reaching outward. It is born when we have the courage to turn inward, to face what we have long avoided, and to nurture what has been long neglected. Love grounded in self-awareness is a different kind of love entirely. There is no desperation in it, no grasping, no fear-based suffering. Instead, it brings peace, clarity, and a quiet strength. It endures not because it avoids challenges, but because it is built on something deeper than shifting emotions or fleeting desire. Jung showed us that authentic relationships elevate us. They do not deplete us. They do not wear us down. They inspire, uplift, and transform. These are bonds rooted in true support, mutual encouragement toward growth. Both as individuals and as partners in life's unfolding journey. There is no fear of truth, no need for pretense. There is no demand for perfection. There is simply the deep, abiding reality of two souls choosing to grow together. These relationships are not flawless, for no human connection is without struggle. But they are real, and in their realness, there is breathtaking beauty. When two people meet from a place of awareness, they do not demand from each other what they are unwilling to provide themselves. They do not seek a savior. They do not seek someone to mask their own inner void. Instead, they offer their presence freely. They share their fullness, not their lack. They allow each other the sacred space to continue becoming. If we long for this kind of connection, we must ask ourselves, am I ready for a conscious relationship? Have I done the inner work necessary to welcome a love that mirrors truth rather than illusion? The love we experience with others will always be a reflection of the love we have cultivated within. If we want external relationships to change, we must begin by transforming the one we have with ourselves. Real love is not a fantasy reserved for a chosen few. It is not an unattainable ideal. It exists, but it becomes available to us only when we are ready to receive it. And readiness does not come from longing or impatience. It is born from self-love, from recognizing our own worth, from healing the wounds we once thought were permanent. Only when we have embraced ourselves completely can we open the door to a love that transcends the surface and touches the soul. When we finally understand the difference between fleeting attraction and a soul bond, we stop seeking love in all the wrong places. We stop trying to fill inner emptiness with the temporary presence of another. We begin to value authenticity over appearance, depth over excitement, truth over fantasy. Real love is not about finding someone who fills a hole in our hearts. It is about meeting someone who has journeyed through their own healing and now stands whole beside us. True love is not a battlefield of power struggles and emotional exhaustion. It is a sanctuary. It is a space of mutual growth, shared freedom, and deep respect. It is a love that does not demand. It does not control. It does not manipulate. It simply exists, calmly, steadily, powerfully. When we find this kind of love, there are no endless doubts, no restless anxiety, no aching sense of lack. There is ease. There is flow. There is alignment. Because this kind of love is not born of the ego. It is born of the soul. Jung reminded us again and again. The relationships we attract are mirrors of our own internal state. If we continually find ourselves entangled with pain, it is a message from within, a call to heal, to evolve, to awaken. The moment we commit to that inner journey, facing our shadows, embracing self-compassion, nurturing self-love, the entire pattern begins to shift. We no longer draw in those who feed on our wounds. We begin to align with those who honor our growth. We attract not what we fear, but what we have become. If you feel this message stirring something within you, if you sense that now is the moment to change the way you experience love and connection, then accept this as an invitation. Begin this inward journey. Here, together, we explore Jung's wisdom, the mysteries of the unconscious mind, the path of individuation, and the sacred work of personal growth. Share in the comments which part of this reflection has touched your heart most deeply. Share your stories, your insights, your longing for authentic love. Your voice might be the light someone else needs along their own path. Share this message with someone who needs it, someone caught in cycles of surface-level relationships, someone who deserves to experience love on a deeper, truer plane. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next reflection. Every like, every comment, every share helps spread these truths further, helping build a community grounded in real growth and understanding. Remember, real love begins within you. If you wish to attract a soul connection, you must first become the kind of soul ready to live it. It is not about hunting outside for something missing inside. It is about discovering the fullness within you, healing your wounds, and allowing true love to enter when your heart is finally prepared to receive it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reflecting. We will see you in the next journey. The change always begins within.